You can have a lot of fun, save money, and get new clothes for your children by hosting a kids' clothing swap. Welcome to Epic Mom Life. I am your host, Kara Peterson. This show is sponsored by The Possum's Tale, a unique book adventure for your 6 to 12-year-old child. Let's jump into today's show. Host a kids' clothing swap and save money on clothes for your children. Do you love to look into your closet and find a new blouse to add pop to an everyday outfit? Your children may feel the same way. You can have a lot of fun, save money, and get new clothes for your children by hosting a kids' clothing swap. Often, clothing swaps are events that are held for women accompanied with wine and lots of laughter. It almost seems that the clothing is secondary to the connecting with the other women and having a really great time. For a kids swap, let's bring a bunch of moms together, let the kids run around outside and play, and get down to swapping clothes to take a big bite out of the clothing expenses for the upcoming year. 1. Invite people. You have a lot of really close mom friends. The problem may be that they all might not have children close to the age, or more importantly, the size of your kiddos. You're throwing a party with a goal. You want everyone to walk away feeling as though they contributed and they received. If your child is, say, a size 6X, look for moms with children's sizes 5 to 8. Obviously, many moms have children of all ages. Encourage them to bring clothing for all of their kiddos. Also, look at your space requirements. If you are not limited to a super small group, encourage everyone to bring a friend or two, especially friends that have kids in similar size groupings as one of their children. This way, everyone should have someone there to swap with. I would be remiss if I did not mention that you can totally make this a mom and me swap. Absolutely. You can have fun swapping mom clothes while being very practical and swapping those outgrown kids' clothes. Just follow the same format. 2. When should I host a clothing swap? A perfect time to plan a swap is when the weather is changing. Encourage the kids to clean out their closets and bring ill-fitting or no longer loving the way it looks clothes to be swapped. The problem with this approach is usually people will clean out their closets of past season's clothing, so your children will not receive new clothing for the upcoming season. I love the idea of a regular clothing swap with the same people twice a year at the turn of the season. This way, everyone in the group knows to save their clothing from, i.e. summer, for the spring swap. You can even set the date for, say, the second Saturday in April and in August, and this way everyone knows when it will happen. And so in August, even though I cleaned out the closets in March, I kept all those clothes for the August swap, if that makes sense. 3. Send invitations. Prepare in advance. Let everyone know at least 1 month in advance about the clothing swap. You want to give everyone time to block the date off on their calendar, clean out their closets, and look at what they already have to assess what they really need. I'm a planner, I totally confess. Ideally, I want all of my friends to drop all their crap off a week in advance. This way I can put everything on tables according to size and category and make it easier for everybody when they get here. When you send out the invitations, you will need to let people know if there is a drop-off date, what the expectations are for the items, and if you are using a system of who chooses when, you may need to include information on that. This would be especially important if you are incentivizing dropping off items early. I would be doing that. I think we're on 4. Establish the rules. Quantity. Everyone should have an idea of what is expected to bring. For example, how many items and in what condition. So if you require that each person receiving clothes, so if it is a mom and a child swap, that means mom brings at least, say, 5 items. mom items, and each child participating brings at least 5 child items. You can set the limit for a maximum a person can bring. This can be a maximum type of clothing. So we all get 1 million t-shirts, so you could say maximum 10 t-shirts per person, or a maximum for all types, or no more than 3 bags of clothing per person. This is your thing. You can do it however you want. Condition. Ask all the guests to clean out the pockets and wash the clothing before they bring it. And if you have a space to hang clothing, ask them to hang the long items like the dresses and slacks or long coats, and the heavy items, the coats and the sweatshirts, on hangers. That will make it a lot easier. I think I'm on 5. Type. Determine how you feel about such items as swimwear, bras, underwear, socks, jocks, cups, Spanx, and nightgowns. Let everyone know ahead of time if you say in new condition what that means. Does it mean unworn, never washed, still in its package, with tags? What does that mean? To accessorize or not to accessorize? I love the idea of bringing purses, shoes, belts, hair clips, and ties, jewelry, etc. These things can really make that outfit pop. Many people may just be done with them at their houses, while somebody else may think, that is just the perfect belt with my new jeans. Another classification you can possibly swap is baby paraphernalia. All of that stuff for baby is super duper expensive. Booster seats, strollers, carriers, slings, hammock chairs, bottles and bottle cleaners, high chairs, etc. Establish in your group if you will allow moms who are completely done with the child having process to donate their child's stuff to those moms who are still birthing babies. I had a lot of developmental type toys. I spent a lot of money for those things. But once the child kind of aged out, they were pretty much useless toys. Can these types of things be swapped? How will you give moms credit and allow them to swap for other items if they bring in these types of items? Is it if you bring any item, you can swap it for any item? Or is it if you bring an item that is in this category or on this side of the room, honestly, I would do this side of the room, then you can swap it for an item on that side of the room. I encourage you to think outside of the box. This is your kids' clothing swap. What do many of your moms need that other moms can happily provide? Get it all ready. This is step 6. Hopefully the hostess has help if you're breathing hard, right? This is a lot of work. You also hopefully received the items in advance. Figure out your flow for the traffic. Put the tables out so everyone can easily see what is available. A mom may think they want something and grab it and then later decide that they do not want to spend one of their tickets for it. So they don't want it anymore. Have a system for where you can put unwanted items so they can be seen by other people or they can easily be put back. That would mean you're going to have somebody who's putting those items back, just as a heads up. Know in advance how you will assign everyone their places for choosing items. Will everyone just run in at once and grab? We have a numbered system. I did fantasy football, so this is what I think of. So the number 1 person gets to choose one item, and then it goes to number 2, and then it goes, 3, 4, 5, 6. But then when it gets to the last person, that person chooses an item, but they choose another item, and then it works its way backwards. So say you have 12 people, so the 12th person chooses one item, and then they choose another item, and then the 11th person chooses 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. See what I'm saying? That's another option. Keep track of all of the duties that need to be assigned that I've been talking about, like the put things back person, the set things up person, the put things out on tables person. There's a lot of duties. You're going to want help throughout this entire thing. And ideally, someone can help you organize, set up, do the day of, the organization of the numbers, putting unwanted items back, check out. Somebody has to check all these things out with taking the tickets and everything. Clean up and donation. So we'll get to that. How will you assign numbers? 7. You can have everyone draw one randomly, or I love this idea because I'm the planner and I want people to get me their stuff as soon as possible. You can give someone a number as soon as they drop off their stuff. So the first person to drop off their stuff is person number 1. Logistics. How does all of this work? I probably should have explained that at the top. So you are buying other items with the items you bring in. If you bring 10 acceptable items, according to the rules your clothing swap group sets up, you in turn can buy 10 items. The clothing swap will need to have a system of currency for this exchange. This can be tickets, stickers, coupons, whatever. But something the mom needs to give when they bring in, for example, 6 items up to the cashier, the person checking out, so that she can individually buy each item. You can have a coupon with hash marks. I hate this system though, because it's just harder to keep track of. If they're checking things out, it naturally leads to the checkout system. So when you're setting up your categories and establishing the tables, you're going to want to think of that flow so that everybody's kind of funneling towards that checkout table. Number 8, let the fun begin. The hostess has provided a place and set up all the tables. Have everyone else bring the food. Make it a potluck. It is helpful if you can assign, say, half of the moms to bring kid-friendly food and the other half to bring mom-friendly food. I also like the idea of doing an online sign-up so that everyone can see what everyone else brought. This way, you don't have repeats and people can see if there's some obvious holes, like, wow, no one's bringing any drinks. This is a great time. It is casual, it's fun, and pat yourself on the back. It is a major money saver. Moms are feeling great. Your children are out having a ton of fun, and you're possibly meeting new friends, which is going to bring us to another point. Provide a way for moms to further their connections so that they can arrange play dates. It's a lot of work to set up a Facebook page or a monthly newsletter. Someone has to maintain all of that. However, there should be a way for everyone to stay connected and be able to get in touch with others. I would do it the old-fashioned way. I would have a clipboard and a voluntary, put your name here, put your child's name here, put your cell phone, and put your email name if you're willing to have this list go out to every single person here so that other parents can get in touch with you for possible get-togethers. Easy, and it's not that much work. And breathe a sigh of relief. You have taken the kids out for a day of fun with friends. You've gotten them together, and they all have new items for the new year. Everyone had a fabulous day laughing and connecting with their friends. Now it is time to donate, which is the very last step. You're going to donate everything no one wanted. There is this human need to hold on to things that we deem have value. We think, maybe I can sell it on eBay or some such crazy thing. Consider the wins that you just had by gaining new items at this clothing swap. Mark the rest of the items as done. You already went through the closets. You already cleaned. You already organized. Do not take a few giant steps backwards by bringing those clothes back into the house. A kid's clothing swap will give everyone the opportunity to clean out their closets and reorganize their seasonal wardrobes. They will also be able to swap those clothes that may still fit, but they just don't feel comfortable in or want to wear. You can plan a clothing swap to be an event that is practical, but also full of fun, food, and laughter. The quote this week, "With such a handsome robe to sit in, anyone could rule Great Britain. Wenceslas like the emperor's new clothes." If you are hearing this message, you've listened to the entire episode, and for that, I want to send you a huge thank you. Please leave me a comment or review and share with other moms you know. Get in touch in the comments or on Kara's social media networks. See you next week for a new episode.